to all of the publishers and the editors and committees and everything that made this happen. My name is Atina Danner. I am an artist, poet, singer, bunch of stuff. I'm also an author of a book, which I, because of ADHD, forgot to bring with me. It's called Incantations for Rest. If you want to check it out, it's my sweet little first book. And so my poem is on page 26, and this is about my own personal heritage and lineage. I was doing work for what I thought was going to be my first book, about my own ancestry, and it's actually, you can't tell because of the economy of space in the magazine here, but it's written as an epistolary in a particular format of letters that were the way letters were written at that time in the 18th century. And so I found an archive as far back as I could go with my resources, tracing my lineage, and I found this particular ancestor named in the poem. And it was really profound to find this grandmother on this very sparse list of Black people who had died at a particular hospital, where they wrote down the names of Black people who had died, because many did not. And so that just the tiniest line of text, barely registered, literally. And yet this was profoundly important to me as a descendant of that ancestry. So, which is all to say, what is available to you in the written record is by nature incomplete. It is a fraction of the truth. And our lives expand so much more widely than bureaucracy, particularly bureaucracy laced with institutional racism can contain. And so I wanted to write this ancestor back into my life, and this is how I've done it. Letter to my eldest ancestor. Evanston, Illinois, 60201, August 1st, 2021. Mrs. Dicey Hawkins, Forey Ratliff, Jefferson, Kentucky, Madison, Hancock, and Clay. Dear Madam, I pray this letter finds your spirit well. After much searching, I have discovered you to be my most senior relation. It is a joy to know your name. And yet, I still must ask your name. White men wrote the map that led me to you. I know that you worked many years in the Forey house and the Hawkins household too. What would it please you to be called now that you may choose? I live in a town near Chicago, working as a teacher. My husband, Christopher, and I have been married 5 years. We own a little house and garden. I have 2 children. Stephen is my star, Duncan my warrior. Eager and smart about their books and games, they are sweetness from a bitter time of life. I've promised to pass along to them our legacy. Their inheritance is your sacred memory. I am so grateful to make your acquaintance. There is an infinity to ask and tell. Forgive my anxiety and not knowing where to begin. I would be grateful to learn of your life in Kentucky since the news of slavery's end. I would be pleased to meet you in Louisville at the Eastern Cemetery. Of course, we will bring food and libation. I pray that you will grant our family a blessing. I am sincerely and gratefully yours, Mrs. Atina Danner White.